here to talk about my weight loss journey and what led me to vertical sleeve gastrectomy. Very hard topic for me to discuss on this anyway. Like, on Facebook, I can answer your questions all day long, but actually sitting down and talking about it is kind of weird. I don't know why, but it's kind of weird for me. So I've been overweight literally my entire life. I remember probably from age 5 up, I've been overweight. I wasn't really active in school with sports or anything like that. Didn't do a lot of exercising or anything like that. And really made bad food choices my entire life. And that's kind of what led to my morbid obesity. Like, at my highest weight, I got up to 363 pounds. The lowest weight that I ever recall in my life was maybe 198, and that might have been like middle school or the beginning of high school. By the time I graduated high school, I was easily probably 325 to 340, somewhere in there. I really don't know. But I went to Jackson State at the time, and then I ended up transferring out to MTSU after 2 years. And once I went to MTSU, because I was walking around campus and, going to my classes and stuff, I ended up dropping about, 30, 40 pounds. I remember getting down to 298 pounds. And then my senior year, I got pregnant with my oldest son, who's 10 now. And I gained back all the weight that I lost. Then I just could never ever lose the weight after I had my son. Years go on and on. And I have my second son, Ashton. Actually, before I have my son, I have an accident that causes me to have permanent nerve damage and sciatica, all kind of funky stuff going on with my right side. So right when that wreck happened, a couple weeks later, I found out that I was pregnant. Worst pregnancy of my life because of the sciatica and stuff. I was going through physical therapy literally the entire time because I was in pain. After I had the baby, I ended up going to a pain specialist. And that's when I found out about the nerve damage and everything, because they couldn't do the tests while I was pregnant. So I don't remember my weight at the time, maybe 330 to 340, I think. But once the pain specialist diagnosed me and everything, we started doing steroid shots. And I started to literally just blow up. I mean, I was already big, but I just started blowing up. I'm like, I got up to 363 pounds. I've tried every type of weight loss that I can think of. Like, I did Weight Watchers. I've done intermittent fasting. I've done phentermine. I've tried working out. This was all, of course, before my accident and my injury or whatever, except the intermittent fasting. I tried that and phentermine after the accident, I believe. But working out was always something I never really done. But after the accident, trying to work out was horrible. Like, I've seen chiropractors and all kind of stuff because I had the wreck in 2014, 15, I think 2015. And it just messed me up. So with not working out, not being able to because I was in so much pain, and having to get those shots and just continuously gaining weight, I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? So I got to my breaking point when I hit that 363 pounds and I started to look at myself in the mirror. I was with my ex at the time, and I kind of just had a breakdown when we were headed back home to Nashville. I was like, I can't take this anymore. I'm so fat. We have to do something. Please help me. Like, we tried the intermittent fasting and all that. I did end up losing weight. I ended up losing, I think, maybe 30 or 40 pounds doing intermittent fasting, but then I stopped. When I stopped, of course, regained all the weight. It's definitely a lifestyle change, but intermittent fasting did work. It just, you have to stick with it, period, or it's not gonna work. Anyway, when I regained all the weight after the intermittent fasting, I started looking into other options, which because I'd seen people at my job who had lost a lot of weight, and I started asking questions. I'm like, hey, what did you do? And several people had gotten the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and I started looking into it. I'm like, can you give me your doctor's information, something? So I can't remember who, but somebody gave me Dr. Houston, that's my surgeon's name, gave me his information and told me the name of the clinic. And I kind of talked to my family about it. And the first time that I thought about doing it, kind of punked out. I talked to my sister about, wanting the surgery, and talked to other family members about wanting the surgery. And they're like, oh my God, don't do it. What if you die on the table? Like, all this. So I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to die. So months went on, and I still was getting bigger, all the way up to that 363. I don't know where I was whenever I told them I wanted to do it, but like I said, got all the way up there to 363, and it was just miserable. Like, not only am I in pain all the time, but I'm just huge. Like, I don't even understand why nobody, like, it's hard to talk about, but I don't realize how, like, people saw me, family, friends, people saw me, but didn't really talk to me about how I looked. When I look back at how I looked, like, I could have died. Like, I didn't have health issues, but obesity, I mean, that is a health issue, a serious one. Like, it can lead to so many things, but nobody told me that I looked the way I did. I mean, of course I knew, but just looking back, it's hard. I'm like, why didn't y'all tell me? Like, I asked that question. Like, why didn't you tell me I looked like that? But my mom was like, I didn't want to hurt your feelings. Well, she should have hurt my feelings a long time ago. Sorry. It's hard to talk about. Where was I? So yeah, I punked out, then decided, okay, enough is enough. I don't care what anybody says, I'm doing it. So told my family, everybody, I'm doing this regardless of what y'all say. And I made the decision for myself. I said, if I'm gonna die on that table, it's meant for me to die, and it is what it is. So I started the process. The process, it was difficult. When I went in for my first consult, like, everything is based on insurance pretty much, but when I went in for my first consult, they were like, so you have the option to either have gone through like a weight loss program with your doctor, your primary care doctor, for 6 months, or you can do our 3-month program, weight loss program, and try to lose some weight before the surgery. And try to lose some weight before the surgery. I needed to lose like 15 pounds, I think. And you'll have to do a psych evaluation. You'll have to do this swallow test. The swallow test was horrible, like so horrible. but they have to look at all of this and see like how your food and drinks are traveling down, basically. But all they did was liquids, like different forms of liquid, and looked at how they go down. Look at like, do you have a hernia, or anything that would need to be repaired when you have the surgery. I have to get a letter of support from your doctor. Mine was kind of iffy about it, to be honest. It took me a while to get my letter, but I got my letter. I ended up doing the 3-month program instead of trying to, work with her for 6 months to lose weight, because I tried phentermine and stuff with her and, lost. But if you stop taking phentermine, you're going to gain back, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, went through all that. And I ended up spending out of pocket, I think, about $1,500. But, yeah, I did the 3-month program. I did the swallow test. I did a psychiatric evaluation, which cost probably $300 or $400. I can't remember. It was expensive. And then after all of that, that's when they submit to your insurance to see if you actually qualify. So I lost 15 pounds during that 3-month program, and I ended up getting my information submitted. And I think it took like 4 to 6 weeks for the insurance to come back with their decision. So the process overall took about 6 months. So once I got my approval, they called me to schedule. We scheduled for February 25th of 2019. I was scared to death. Like, for real. It was terrifying even thinking about going under the knife. But I'd done it before to get, I had gone under before to get my tubes tied after I had my last child. So I was like, okay, we're going to do this. I mean, I had to. I think it saved my life, honestly. Like, I didn't have a lot of health issues or anything, but if I had kept going down the path that I was on, there's no telling where I'd be right now. I have no idea. I'm sure I'd probably be 400 and something pounds by now. But yeah, I got my surgery February 25th of 19. From my highest weight, I've lost 110 pounds. From surgery date, I've lost, I think, 95. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, yeah. I actually, through the process of, after the surgery, I think I could have lost a lot more by now, but life happens. Shortly after my surgery, me and my baby daddy broke up and stuff, and like, I just had a whole lot going on in my life after that surgery. And I was eating things that I shouldn't, and just, I mean, I didn't gain because you can't really eat a lot, but I was eating stuff that I wasn't supposed to eat. I had stopped, because I used to walk and stuff a lot after my surgery. I stopped working out. I stopped doing anything. I just didn't care because I felt like my world was crashing, basically. So, I mean, everybody has their problems, but I finally got over it and got back on track. On my surgery day, I was 348 pounds. And I honestly don't remember like the different increments or whatever. But I ended up getting down recently to 200. I was like going between 265 pounds and 270 pounds. And kind of just fluctuating like Oprah does. That I was fluctuating or whatever. And I saw somebody post about this ISO tea that people use to lose weight. And I got some from a friend, and I saw that it worked. Like, I lost like 5 pounds in 5 days, like 5 pounds in a week. And I was like, oh, okay. So I have another friend who's a distributor, and she talked me into trying this Spring Back challenge. It was like the ISO-T plus a fat burner plus their liquid vitamins or whatever. It worked. I got down to 252. So I'm excited about that. But I still have a long way to go. I'm trying to get down to 199, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. But yeah, that's pretty much the journey. But people ask like what you eat, you know, during the different stages and stuff like that. I don't have all that information, but I do remember after my surgery for about 2 weeks, I was on clear liquids after the surgery. So I did like sugar-free Jello, popsicles, broth, and clear protein because you have to make sure you get your protein in. And you have to drink a lot of water. You have to make sure you get at least 64 ounces of water in, which is hard after surgery. Plus you have to get 60 to 80 grams of protein in. So it's a lot. It's really hard in the beginning, and it's still hard today. Like, I will never say that this is an easy process or the easy way out, because it's not. I think week 3, I went into full liquids. That's where I can have the actual protein shakes. I use Premier Protein. And then you can have like still those other things too. And then like soups that are, you know, thicker and stuff, but it's still not eating solid food. Then went into soft foods, where you're eating like eggs and tuna and stuff like that. For me, eggs were not a thing for a while because I tried them and they made me sick. So I stuck with like tuna, the protein shakes, and all the other stuff that I was having, like the Jello and stuff like that. Oh, and yogurt. And then I'm gonna say about 4, maybe 5 weeks out is when I actually started with, you know, more solids. And you really have to get yourself in the groove of it, and you don't know what you can and can't eat. I mean, they tell you what not to eat, you know, they give you a plan. But even in that plan, there are things that they say you can eat that might make you sick. You just don't know what your stomach is going to agree with, honestly. So, I mean, you take it one day at a time and you get there. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about it because so many people ask, and so many people say that they, you know, have been encouraged by my journey and so on and so forth. So I just kind of wanted to put some information out there about my journey and to answer, you know, some of the things that I get asked all the time. I mean, if y'all have questions or anything like that, I'm still open to answer. But it feels good to actually record this and get it out because it was hard. Thanks for watching, guys.